remember in the beginning of this year, I'm gonna call my friend, and she just got a relationship with her man. So we're talking about relationships, and I remember telling her that I I, I don't understand why you'd be in a relationship. I don't understand why you take somebody seriously in the world that we live in. Like I couldn't understand that. Fast forward like 6 months from that conversation. That was like maybe January, June, and now I'm in a relationship. Like now I understand it. Now I see that you want this person to to only be with you, not with anybody else. You want to only be with this person. Maybe you love this person. You want to give them your all. You want them to give you their all. You might not be that type of person to love somebody with everything. I know I am, but like you see, I couldn't see that like the reason to want to be in a relationship, and then you get to relationship problems. I don't feel like you should ever have problems in a relationship. I get it that that shit makes you stronger as a couple, but like let's be honest. Some of you are just scared to leave. That's like why would you still be in a relationship if you're having problems with this person? Maybe you love them. But I mean you can see that you're not gonna end up with this person. Unwaffling. The way I see the world, the most important thing is your self-respect. Is respecting yourself. No matter what happens, you always choose the self-respecting option. Any option that means you have to disrespect yourself, that shouldn't even be an option. Because why the fuck would you disrespect yourself? But now that I'm in love, like I want to do something. I want to do things that would mean I disrespect myself, which means I'm like disrespecting myself. And that's stupid. If I'd see anybody else doing this shit, I'd be like, you're fucking dumb. That's where the overthinking comes in, because your head and your heart could be saying two different things. That's what makes you overthink. You get me? That's what makes you spiral, actually. Because you're going to be sent spiraling when your head's telling you one thing and your heart's telling you another thing, which means that you can only be spiraling if your heart is involved. If you don't really care about this person, you're not going to spiral because your heart's not involved. And the thing about spiraling is that time when you are spiraling, like out of control, the decisions you make, for some reason, they're just more important than the normal decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. So you have to be able to trust yourself that you're gonna catch yourself when you're spiraling. If you get what I mean. Like you're spiraling out of control, you don't know what to do, your head and your heart are saying two different things. You have to be able to know that you're gonna catch yourself. You get me? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Whenever I leave a bitch, I go spiraling. Like, this shit crazy to me. I've been in 2 relationships. Right? I'm 17. So we're like 2 serious relationships. And then I was in 1 relationship that was like online. We link up every now and then. But like the relationship is online. We talk on the phone all the time. We don't go to the same school. We don't live in the same area. So like technically I've been 3 if I count that one. but I don't count online relationships online. You get me? Like you're talking online, you can't see what this person's up to, which is wrong. That's wrong with me. I won't lie to you. I should be counting that, but I don't. There's more reasons that I don't, but I'm not gonna get into that. Actually, I should. Reasons I don't count online relationships are because you don't see them a lot, right? You have to go out of your way to see them. You don't have your eye on them. None of your friends know this person. They know of them maybe, but none of your friends know this person. So you guys are low-key just strangers that know each other. You guys can do anything in the world without the other person knowing about it, because you guys don't live in the same area and you only talk on like WhatsApp, Instagram. I message and you guys call every night. I guess that's my reason for not taking online relationships seriously. But I was in one of those like recently where we only talk on the phone and we see each other every now and then. And then when I see, the first time I tried to leave, she thought I was cheating. And then she was like, "Oh, she gonna leave." She crying on the phone like, "Why would you do this to me?" I'm trying to talk her down like I ain't do nothing. Like it's a misunderstanding. I'm trying to tell her that I didn't really do anything. I'm not cheating on you. It's a misunderstanding. I wouldn't do you like that, you know. And that shit, that weekend was bad, cause like she was hurting herself and shit. And then like every time I try to leave, she she'd beg me to stay. And when a girl begs me to stay, I stay. I shouldn't. Cause like if I'm leaving in the first place, I'm leaving. She knows that I wanna leave. And she knows that she can just beg me to stay and I'll stay. But it's not fair to either of us. If if I tell her I wanna leave and show her signs that I wanna leave and stay anyway. But the thing is, when a girl really begs you to stay, and you care about them, you don't want to leave. Thing is, the only way you you actually genuinely care about a girl is if she's the only girl you're talking to. If you had 3 to 4 other girls, none of them are any importance. You can lose all of them at the same time. You wouldn't keep. Only when, say, something happens with 2 of them, you lose them. The the conversation with the third one, that starts to get boring. You just start forgetting to text her. Then before you know it, you're giving this one girl all of your attention. That's when attachment forms. That's when love forms. You know. And for me, if I have multiple girls, I'm not gonna care about the red flags, which is a mistake. I'm now learning that that's a mistake. You should. It doesn't matter if they're just a hope. You gotta pay attention to the red flags. You gotta low key memorize it. Or just know that this girl has this red flag. For me, I didn't care because I'm like, this is just a hope. But then, like, once you drop the other ones, and this one's the one you're talking about, talking to, those red flags are gonna come out. You get me? And then it's a problem. And the thing is, if you knew about the red flags from the beginning and you still stay, then it's your fault for any pain that's caused to the both of you guys. Because you knew about this and you still stayed. You ignored it. Like you're dumb. I can't tell. This could be its own video, right? But I'ma just shorten it down here. I can't tell the difference between a good girl and a bad girl, right? Or a good girl and a hoe. Because the thing is, like, they share a lot of things in common. A good girl and a hoe, right? A hoe is going to try and manipulate you so that you see her as a good girl instead of a hoe, right? That's a manipulative hoe. And a good girl, she's genuinely a good girl. So they both gonna say the same things. They both gonna tell you how much they love you. They both gonna tell you they stay home. They both gonna tell you that I ain't a cheater. I'll never do that. But one of them is lying and the other isn't. The only way I know how to know for sure which is which is to really get to know the girl on a deeper level, right? Like you talk to when you talk to her about her shit, the shit she goes through, or like when she's telling you stories, you don't just listen to respond. You genuinely listen to like think about what type of girl she is. Now you can't do this everything because you're going to sit there and just be quiet because now you're trying to think about what does this mean that she just did this in the story. What does that mean for what type of girl she is? My jaw is like that shit cracking whenever I talk. It's weird. But from what I know, that's how you tell the difference between a good girl and like a manipulative hoe, but I still can't tell the difference. Thing is, if you're a man and you get manipulated by a girl, you must be some bitch. Some bitch, cause you must be some type of bitch, cause now you're distracted by her pretty face. By her body, by her pretty words that she's using to manipulate you. And there's signs. There's always signs about that shit that she's manipulating you. You just ignore it because of the pretty face and the attention. That means you're a bitch. You get me? If you're ignoring these signs that this girl is not good, does not have good intentions, that she's gonna hurt you, she's gonna cheat on you, because there is signs, even if you're that type of guy, to do that to a girl. When you talk to her, there's gonna be signs that you're letting off, right? But she's gonna be distracted by your words, by your handsome face that she gonna ignore it, because that's manipulating. And it's okay for a girl to ignore that because she's a bitch. She's just a bitch. No, it's okay for a girl to ignore that because she's a girl, right? And society gonna be on her side. They're gonna be like, that man, he manipulated you, girl. It was so bad for you, like it's not your fault that shit happened. But if you're a man and you allow yourself to get manipulated, there's nothing romantic about that. You're just stupid. I don't know if any of this is gonna correlate once I edit it, because I'm just like farting out of my mouth. Like I'm just saying shit about relationships. I'm just yapping. And I'm gonna try and like edit it into 5 minutes. And this rule is 20 minutes. And I'm not gonna give it to you guys raw. You don't deserve it yet. I'm telling you all of this stuff about being a bitch, and I can't tell if I'm being manipulated or not. The thing is, as I said, there is signs that she'll manipulate you. There's signs that she's a liar. There's signs that they are cheaters, men and women. There's always signs about that. I have friends that cheat, and when I hear them talking to their girl, I can hear those signs. And also their actions. Because a cheater, manipulator, unless they're the best at that shit, like unspeakable game, they will slip up. They will mess up. They will do something. You know? And you might not believe it. I used to look at guys that get manipulated by girls and I used to be like, you're a bitch. Like, you're a stupid bitch. How are you letting this girl manipulate you? Are you dumb? Because you are not a girl. It's not okay to get manipulated by a girl. But, oh, damn. But, nah. But if she did something that shows that she's a cheater, right? But at the same time, you don't believe it. Because when you talk to her, she doesn't sound like a cheater. You don't think she's that type of girl. Because as I'm saying, like, I can't tell the difference. I just always assume that they're lying. I just always assume that because, like, it's better to just assume that they're lying than genuinely believe a bitch and she lying to you because I can't tell the difference. You get me? That's why I don't be taking girls seriously. And then it's not like I actively make the decision. It's not like I actually made the decision that I'm going to lose my hopes for this girl. It just happened. And before I knew it, I'm giving all my attention to this one girl. Not on purpose. And she shared an Instagram.